Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode here on the CreedCraft server. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. So there's a couple of things I need to show you that I've done between episodes today, and then we need to have a talk about fuel. So first of all, I want to take you over to my base. Which direction is it? Over here. And I've made a few changes to the design, largely because I realised that I was basing all of my measurements and all of the stuff off the wrong type of fuel. So I was looking at the, I think it's called the LEU 233 fuel, and I was supposed to be basing it off the LUE 235 fuel. And so the calculations for the size of the reactor needed to be slightly different. And the reason why I've stopped here is I've changed the inside quite drastically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into here and I'll walk into here backwards because I don't want you to see just yet. I want to have a talk about some other stuff first. So in here you can see I've filled in all of the walls with this, with the oak wood. I put all the oak wood floor in, and I've also added a ceiling, a proper beam design to the ceiling. And over here I've covered over all of the spare little bits, pulled it back and covered it all over with the logs. Now the actual design for the reactor, I've extended it all out and I've created this. I love this. I think it fills up the space so well. And this is going to be the size of the eventual generator that we're going to be making. I've put some glowstone up here just to give a little bit of light to the whole place. And then behind here I've just left it pretty much hollow. If we break these bits out, you can see back behind here it's pretty much just as you saw it last time. So I haven't really done anything behind there. What I have done, however, you can see, is I've doubled the size of this, or nearly doubled. I've doubled the size of it. So I've added another layer onto it here because the calculations for the new type of fuel require this to be a 2x2 rather than a 2x1. So we have, and it's very, very similar. If I open that side up and I open this side up, you'll be able to see what I've actually done. So it's this configuration here and this configuration here, and that will give you a zero sum for the LUE 235 fuel. So there we go, and we'll come back through, place these ones back in. So I'm glad that these factory blocks are really quite cheap still in this pack. I love using the factory blocks. I rarely have the opportunity to use them in a large scale like this, and I think it really does add a huge amount to this. I love the dichotomy of having a very medieval style base, a very high fantasy style base. This is, I think, it's all cobblestone and wood, timber frame. And then when you come through into the background of it all in here in the basement, then suddenly you've got this big, almost steampunky style fission reactor, nuclear fission reactor in the basement of this high fantasy building. It's brilliant, I love it. So we're going to be trying to work this out with fuel today, and trying to work through the process of working with uranium. So we're going to have a look through a few different recipes. We're going to try and actually get this thing running, but there is a few different steps to it. So let's head back over and we'll get started. Okay, so we've got to the stage now where we need to actually prepare and make some nuclear fuel for our fission generator. I never thought I'd be able to say this on episode 10 of a new series. So quite amazing we're able to get to this stage really quite quickly. So the fuel we're going to be using, I thought we would be using this LEU 233 fuel, but if we have a look at the recipes for this, we need uranium 238 and uranium 233. And then if we have a look at the recipes for these, there's nothing we can really do with these. These are a offshoot of other fuels. So you deplete other fuels and then you refine the depleted fuels, say in an isotope separator, and that will give you the fuels to be able to go up and up and up and up in the fuel quality. So the one we need is actually, I'm on the right page here, is actually the one we can get from the uranium itself, from uranium ingots. So we need to start making these uranium ingots, and we're only going to do this once so far because the half-life on this within the reactor is about 15 minutes. However, if you turn the machine on, then it will generate a rate of, I think it's now just over 2,000 RF per tick, and it will fill up its bank within about 30 seconds or so, and then you need to switch it off again. So it's actually a really simple system to be able to get massive amounts of power with this, which is what I like. So the one we're going to go for is actually the LEU-235 fuel here. And have a look at the recipe for this. This is 8 pieces of uranium-238 and also 1 piece of uranium-235. And we get these from... we get the uranium-235 from tiny clumps of uranium-235, and we get that from the isotope, separator. So if we have a look at the recipe for this from the isotope separator, so we need to make one of these isotope separators. We get from uranium, we get 1 piece of uranium-238. And we also get a tiny clump of uranium-235. So we need 9 uranium ingots in total to make one of these blocks for the LUE-235 fuel. And we need 9 of these in total, and we need to make the isotope separator. Best place I know to get the uranium is actually in the nether. So we're just going to head through to the nether now, because I know there is some on the surface which we can get, and we can process down the nether ore. If you don't know, if you put a nether ore through a furnace, then you actually get 2 of the overworld ore for the price of 1. So you can see just down there where the cursor is now, there is a 2 pieces of this nether uranium. So we'll grab that. What I don't know is, do the pigmen attack me if I grab this? Can't hear anything, should be okay. So there's a bit more here. So that is 4, so that's actually 8 ingots in total. There's a little bit more here. So we'll grab those as well. Might as well grab the Certus quartz as well while we're here. And I seem to remember I did see some down here as well, just underneath here. So there's another 2 bits of it here. So there we go. That is actually 16 ingots, so we will have more than enough to be able to do this. Grab that bit there. Wow, that's quite loud. Got my game sounds up at the moment with my headphones in. So we will be able to head back to base now. We have got 18 ingots here, 18 ingots worth. Actually we have 18 ore worth. But what is that going to give us when we take it down into ingots? We will see. So back in the overworld, we now have our uranium ore here, and we can place that in an electric furnace, and that will give us, you can see, 2 ore from the overworld, 2 overworld ores. So we have 18 of those. Now I want to make sure that I've got this right on how we actually turn these into ingots. We can macerate them down into crushed uranium ore. We can put them in an alloy smelter, or a simple alloy smelter, to turn them into uranium ingots. And we can use a sag mill to turn them into uranium grit. Or we can use a small plate presser to turn them into uranium grit. And this will actually do. This will actually be fine. Let's just have a look if there's anything else I can do. Doesn't look like it, because this stuff, if we have a look at uses for this, we can put this into a melter to be molten uranium in there. We can smelt it down and then turn it into ingots. but how much does this give us? So if we can also put it into a chemical reactor, put it into a centrifuge, we can put it into an ingot former as molten. But again, just make sure we know exactly what we're doing here. This crushed uranium ore, so this will be doubled anyway. So we have 36 of this, and then when we smelt it, it turns into a single ingot. Yeah, so we will actually get double our ore for this. So we'll have 36 ingots. So if I come to the macerator here, this output chest is massively full at the moment, so we're not going to have this going through the system. I don't want it to go through the system because this, when you put it through the ore washer, doesn't do exactly what you think it does. So we're just going to wait for this to go through. Take that out. Oh, because it's night time, I do need to sleep. Wow, okay. Didn't know you get that, bug. I'm going to do a kick me. And we're back in. Okay, so let's grab this stuff out of there. There's 36 crushed uranium ore. We'll take this over to the smeltery. We'll place it into there. And I'm hoping that the uranium ingots don't give us any radiation poisoning. I don't think they do. But we'll shove all of this into here. There's enough there. It shouldn't take too long, and then we will pour it out. And I could pour it out as blocks. Yeah, I'll pour it out as blocks. So now we have 4 blocks of molten uranium in the smeltery here, and we can pour that out into the mould here. And that will take a while to do, so join me back when this is done. So there we have our 4 blocks of uranium, and now we need to have a look at the isotope separator. Now the recipe for this is actually surprisingly simple. We've already got the basic plates, the redstone. I've made another chassis plate, machine chassis. So we just need these electrical motors. And these are steel ingots, iron, gold nuggets, and some more of these copper solenoids. And I've gone to the trouble of making a few of these because I know we're going to need more of these later on. So I've made 4 recipes worth of those. It did take quite a while to do, but it's worth it. And if we grab some steel, so we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. We're going to need a little bit of gold, and we're going to need some iron as well. So in here, we can go for this, and first of all we'll get the nuggets, and then we can grab 2 of these, place that into here with machine chassis, redstone, basic plates, and the electric motor, and that will give us the isotopic separator. So there we have nuclear refinement. So now we can place this somewhere on here. Where's the best place for this? Shove it there. That'll be okay. I'm going to come into our alloy furnace here, grab the speed and energy upgrades, and we'll place those into here. Just make this as efficient as we can. And then we want to break down this into ingots, and then we should be able to just place one of these into here. And this might take a bit of time. I'm hoping this works. Okay, it seems to be working now. I'm not too sure what was wrong with it before, but we are actually now getting uranium-238 and a tiny clump of uranium-235. Standing around it, I don't seem to be getting any form of radiation poisoning, so that's a good thing. But it's when I take these out, I may have to just chuck them out of my inventory really quickly. So I'm going to take these ones out first. Nothing. And then these. Nothing. Okay, excellent. Right, and so now we should be able to place these into here, and that gives us uranium-235, which it does. Excellent. So we have 4 of those. We place those in the corner there. And we mix it around with like that, and that gives us LEU-235 fuel. So now we have that. That still doesn't give us any radiation poisoning. So it looks like all the radiation is actually turned off in this as default, which is good. Now I just need to remember where we're actually heading back to. Back over, and we will see if I have set that machine up properly. So here we are heading in. I'm really worried about this, to be honest. I really hope that I've done all this correctly. But I do love this room when I come into here. It's nice and big and spacious. It reminds me of my room in FTB Beyond, but where we didn't actually move out of this room until we were like episode 40 odd. Anyway, let's have a look at the fission controller. Let's open this up. LEU 235. You're only going to place one of them in. 2160 RF per tick, giving 0 heat per tick. So now if we place a lever on the front of it here, we should be able to turn this thing on and then watch this run up to 500,000 RF in the system in a matter of seconds. You can see fuel remaining 15 minutes. Let's have a look. There we go. Gives a nice Geiger counter noise as well. And there it is. Pretty much. Oh. Let's turn it off. And now we have a bank of 512,000 RF, 500,000 RF in here. And it's only used 2%. So that's really cool. So now that we have a way of generating power, we also need a way of storing power. And I've found a fairly good way of doing that. These things from Immersive Engineering here, this medium voltage one, this holds, what is that? That is 5 million essentially RF in one power bank there. However, I've found this. A basic lithium ion battery stores 32 million RF. And then we could do these basic voltaic piles. We've seen those already in creative mode last episode. And they hold 1.6 million each. And you can pick those up and do whatever you want with them. The advanced ones, which uses 3 of these in its recipe, it holds 6.4. So one of these lithium ion ones is worth essentially one of these. Oh no, actually no, that's 32 million. This is 6.4. This is 25 million. And then this one is then 102 million. So yeah, we're looking at over a DU voltaic pile in this one basic lithium ion battery. This is fairly difficult to make. It's a big, long, complicated recipe to make this, but we can do it. I'm pretty sure we can do it anyway. If we have a look at the recipe, we need basic plating. We have those. We need a magnesium diborite solenoid. I have those. We've made those before. They're fine. It's these lithium ion cells. These hold 8 million RF each, which gives you the 32 million. And these are a bit more of a complicated recipe, but it's nothing we can't do. We have ferroboron alloy. We've seen that before. We have lithium ingots. We've seen that before. And then we have lithium manganese dioxide alloy. Sounds really difficult, but it's not actually. If we have a look at the recipe for this, it is lithium and manganese dioxide. And we've seen both of these before. We know exactly what they are, we know exactly how to get them, and we just mix them together. And then the other one is hard carbon. Hard carbon alloy you get within an alloy furnace. You mix together graphite and diamonds. So, set the alloy furnace up here. Graphite and diamonds will run through to give us, this will actually give us 24 hard carbon alloy, so we'll wait for that to go through. And the other thing we need is, what was it? It was lithium and manganese ingots here. We have those here as well. So there we have, actually that's only used up the 6 diamonds, giving us the 12 ingots there we need. And so we need, hang on, is it 12 or is it 16 we need? Nope, there's 3 per thing, so that is right. We need ferroboron, and then we need this as well. So if we have a look, is it just 1 and 1? Okay, it's not that way around. Can't put, oh, that's manganese diboride acid alloy. So which one was it? It was on here, this manganese dioxide ingot. This is in a alloy smelter, ingot former, fluid infuser. Maybe this is a bit more complicated than I thought. Induction smelter, manganese dioxide dust, casting, that's molten. So we get this from manganese dioxide ingots. Yeah, so we actually need a fluid infuser for this. So this isn't actually something we can get into. Right, okay. But we do have everything else we need apart from those ingots. So that might be something we look at in the next few episodes coming up, because I'm sure we're going to need a fluid inducer at some point soon. Let's just have a quick look at that recipe at least. Which one is it? Fluid enricher? No, fluid extractor. Rock crusher is one we're going to need. I know that much. Fluid infuser, here we go. So that is machine chassis, we have one of those. Servo mechanism, they're pretty easy. A bucket, they're pretty easy. And advanced plates. That's not too difficult actually. Let me have a look at that. I will grab the ingredients I need for this, because I need to make up a fair few different things here. And yeah, we'll make one of these. So I've had a better look through this recipe. The lithium magnesium dioxide alloy is actually more complicated than I thought. So if we have a look at the magnesium dioxide dust, we can use that in a fluid infuser. However, it takes this manganese oxide dust. This manganese oxide dust requires crushed rhodochrosite, and this crushed rhodochrosite is rhodochrosite in a pulverizer, or we can use a rock crusher to crush granite down, which gives us that and sulfur and some villiumite, whatever it's called. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not going to start getting into all of that. We'll sort all of that out in the upcoming episodes. So instead, we're going to go the easier route. We're going to go for these basic voltaic piles. So if we grab 3 magnesium blocks here, we can place that into here and get 3 of these basic voltaic piles. And this is with copper solenoid and basic plates. So it's not too difficult to get. And that gives us Electric Avenue. It doesn't give us any more quests, unfortunately, but we may be able to get some. We will sort through all of the loot chests that we've got as well. And then if we come into here, we have advanced plates here with magnesium ingot and a copper ingot. And if we place all of those 3 in there, we get an advanced voltaic pile, which gives us 6.4 million RF storage. So now we can come over back down into our base, and we can set this up on the port in the front of the generator, and that will give us full power into this battery. So when I was testing this in Creative, I was testing it with this basic lithium ion battery. So I hope this works in the same way, but I can just plug this straight onto the front of there, and yes I can. Look at that, 512,000 out of 6.4 million. So now I can turn this on and this will start filling up. We're already at 6, 7, 8,000. We're nearly at 1 million now. And so this is actually going to fill up before this single thing, until this single block of fuel we've got in actually depletes. We're also going to place in the other 3 of these into there, so that we're out of the inventory. And you can see we're already up to 2 million RF in there now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this off for now. Don't quite need it just yet. I'm going to bring in some of those machines into here. But I also do need to stay over there for a while, just so that we've got all of the ore processing. Basically, until I get my own ore processing in here, we're doing basically a community thing with resources at the moment, especially until we're set up. But this season is mostly about the community projects and about sharing resources. So we have taken it in turns essentially to do various different mods. So I'm going down the tech line with nuclear craft, and then getting into mechanism and probably environmental tech, that kind of stuff. Nathan at the moment has gone down much of a more natural route. He's working with Botania, he's getting all of that sorted out. He's doing some of the astral sorcery stuff, he's getting that sorted out. So yeah, he's doing a slightly different route than I am, and then in the late game I'm sure it'll all meet up and we will be having a lot of collab stuff like that later on. So let's go into the quests. Let's see what we can actually do with the nuclear craft here. We've got a fair few to open up here. So we've created the fission controller, so we're going to grab that. Actually gives us a... I haven't actually seen this spotlight, but I actually went onto the NuclearCraft website, well, the NuclearCraft YouTube channel to find out how to do all of that. We also have the nuclear furnace. We can grab that one. Grab that one there. We have the melter. We can grab that. Claim that. And we have the isotope separator here, so we can also claim that. Right, so let's hope for something good. Fingers crossed. Common. Chicken, celery, casserole. I've already eaten it. Not great. Number 2. Flexible casing. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Because it completes another quest. And they're a pain to make, if I remember right. Number 3. Let's go. Diamond chisel. Great. And then loot chest number 4. Coconut shrimp. I've already eaten it. Ah well, never mind. So we got 2 fairly useless ones. Actually, that one's pretty useless as well. That's a 1 diamond and 1 stick to create that. For 2 chisels and bits, and it doesn't even give us the chisel and bits bag either. So yeah, not too keen on that. However, this flexible casing that has actually completed another quest for us in forestry, so we can go and grab that one. Loot chest there, claim and back. And this gives us a shulker shell. Okay, it gives us 8 shulker shells. Oh wow, okay. We have shulker boxes. That's really cool. Right, that sets me up quite nicely for the next episode. I think that's where we're going to leave it off for today. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will. See you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.